Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter W. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion. So this is my creation. This is one of my unpopular opinions. I think a lot of people also said that too, but So I was watching some kind of Degrassi video. It was recommended on YouTube, season 13, and here's what it says. I started watching by YouTube recommendation in season 13 when Maya returns from her suspension and is sent to the rubber room for a while. Social media. And it burns me about how Maya was cyberbullied and so he got no punishment. Well, Maya writes one song and Simpson suspends her. I'm thinking Simpson wasn't going to try to press things on Zoe and her mom because he was afraid of the repercussions if this comes out in the quote unquote media. Because Zoe was still an actress and her mom would have raised his stink. I'm still feeling about Maya's mom seemingly not helping Maya's position out by saying that she needs to be the better person. She needs to take action for Maya, not push Maya away from things. My guess is also the school board's policies, quote unquote, forced Maya to be suspended instead of trying to fix the cyberbullying issues. And of course, not for the first time, Simpson follows school board policies or probably loses his job. Season 10 Vegas thing. There's got to be a better explanation of how I didn't like how Maya was put in the media for one little incident. How about it? I got some people. Someone said season 13 sounds rocking. I said, ugh. After the Maya things, it's even worse. Wall Cavity said, I found it so weird after his staunch anti-bullying reaction to what happened in Time Stand Still that season 13 Simpson let such vicious cyberbullying slide so easily and punished the victim for retaliating. Becoming principal really changed that man. So before I get to the other comments on the Reddit post, I said, yeah, it's weird how, he made this anti-bullying reaction. And, he took responsibility for failing Rick and didn't address Rick's problems in season 4. And that's probably what led him not to be principal after Raj. He probably thought that he should not be because he screwed up too. But also, I think that actually got Simpson a charge into Simpson that he wanted to be principal because he wanted to ruin the anti-bullying. He wanted to ruin the bullying process. He wanted to make things anti-bullying and all that crap. So I think that was one of his motivations for being principal was what happened in season 4. He couldn't be like his predecessors. So yeah, the worst part is that when it looks like Simpson in season 10 is principal, he seems to be good and, that'd be good for the students. But then he slips into darkness. I mean, the school board does have a part to play in why Snake seems to be uncaring at times. Especially after what happened to Drew being hazed by Riley and all that stuff. And, Drew's mom is part of the school board and she lets it know that Simpson is being a dick. She's being a total Karen, if you will. So then, of course, Vegas night happens. Snake overreacts because of the acts of a few, but I think he was trying to save his job. There was nothing wrong with that. And this whole cyberbullying thing. Now, somebody did say that because Zoe cyberbullied Maya on computers that were not in school, they couldn't charge her with anything. I think someone said that. Right here. No, I thought so too. I thought I heard someone say, well, the reason why Zoe didn't get punished was because Zoe, was a celebrity and because all her stuff was done off school grounds, whereas Allie got in trouble for making Holly J look like a dick while doing stuff on school grounds. So yeah, Simpson really changed. And, at times Simpson was decent, but other times he was either overreactionary or underreactionary. Independent Ad, who also talks about this thing, said that I'm not a Maya fan, but boy, the poor girl was done dirty. Simpson sucks as a principal. First Mama Torres and then Mama Rivas. He always caves into the pressure of Karens. Now, of course, in internet slang, Karens are people who basically are pushing their views apart. Like being naggy, like being a nagger like Marge Simpson sometimes has been. Yeah, I think Simpson was just trying to save his job. Like, being principal, you have to think about people just getting on you, and you get triggered and all that. Fuck, I should have put Simpson in my Degrassi triggered people. Principal Simpson. Shit, I should have done that. Similar Garden said, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I made a similar argument about Maya's mother. She grounded Maya for standing up for herself, and Maya told her she was assaulted nearly by some guy. And she tells her to turn the other cheek. Simpson was messed up for knowing what Zoe did and not punishing her. Maya does one thing and gets suspended and sent to remedial. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what's with Maya's mom and all that. I mean, I know she probably has problems because, she's broken up with uh, the dad and all that, but to force Maya to stand down, even though that Maya almost got hurt by somebody, that's the one thing that gets me is that Maya nearly got hurt, and yet her mom does nothing. That's why Katie seems to be a bad person sometimes, and so is Maya. So that basically does lead to something. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't get it. It's like, well, Maya was justified. I mean, okay, maybe her revenge was not the right thing. Maybe it was probably because of how she was getting revenge and all that that everyone felt a little uneasy. But the fact is that Maya almost got harassed, and yet people turned a blind eye, saying that Maya was the bad person after all. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense that Maya would basically be the bad guy. It's like victim blaming in a way. And you can kind of guess that Maya feels betrayed by everybody around her, especially her mom. That's why Maya seems to be a little bit triggered and angry and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if Maya basically blew up at her mother and said, "You have some nerve," and all that. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So, it's just like unfortunate that Maya, like everyone pushes Maya around. Season 14, she gets a little overreactionary with Miles and his problems, and she has it in her head that this is just like Cam and her problem and his problems, and Maya's still kicking herself for not helping Cam when she needed to. I mean, I don't blame Maya that much for Cam's problems. I mean, she didn't know much. Cam kept a lot of things to himself. I mean, Simpson could have helped Cam, but he didn't really help Cam out, although Cam never went to Simpson for help. And I think Simpson would have helped. Maybe Simpson was kicking himself. Dallas was kicking himself because, Cam was on his hockey team, and the team basically decided that um, Cam was just being stupid and not playing hockey, not being a teammate, and rather be with Maya than on the hockey team. And that's when Cam almost injures himself intentionally. Like, Dallas is upset at himself. Maya wishes she should have done something about it. But I mean, they're kids. Like, teenagers don't understand things about other teenagers sometimes. And, Sig, I thought was going to be blackholed. It was basically after Cam died and he admitted his guilt that Sig was going to be taken out of the Degrassi thing. But no, he came in. Like, Sig was just so jealous and all that. Sig was possessive over Maya. And Sig would go with, like, Zoe or Esme to try to make Maya jealous. And when Maya was with someone else, like Miles and Harry, he was upset that, Maya was with someone that's not Sig. And so Sig would basically decide to destroy Maya's relationships. You didn't really want to be with Maya. I think you just wanted Maya to be unhappy. It just ticks me off about the fact that, yeah, Maya retaliated, but the retaliation was less than the cyberbullying, and she almost got groped. Did they not realize that? The police should have just given Zoe some kind of probation and all that, even if. And I mean, Zoe's mom was like being the puppet master of Zoe sometimes, pulling the strings so that Zoe would get roles so that, she could live off of her daughter and not have to work. And when Zoe got less roles because of her coming out of the closet, Zoe's mom decided to marry someone else for his money so that, she could still maintain her lifestyle without working. And then on top of that, she kicks Zoe out. It doesn't really reconcile with Zoe. You could tell she was just money hungry. You know, and Zoe, later in the season may have gotten come up and being raped by Luke and his friend. Like, a lot of people probably were saying, yes, Zoe got what she deserved for hurting Maya. But no, I don't think Maya would have wanted that. Maya was even going to help Zoe deal with the whole rape thing until she found out that Zoe was with Miles, and then basically Maya flipped out on Miles saying we're through unfairly. I mean, Maya and Zoe do get back together. I mean, and talk about Miles and all that, and they have come to an understanding. So, like, I can't blame Maya and all that, especially coming from the season before that she lost Cam. Like, when she loses Cam and all that, and she's still kicking herself about Cam, it just snowballed. That people don't have faith in her, and basically they just want to make Maya shitty and dump on Maya. And Maya takes it like a person. I feel like, they were trying to dump things on Maya, kind of like when they dump things on Claire, and even Emma for that matter. But the fact of the matter is that, Maya didn't deserve to get shunned and all that. Maya probably was just working out her frustrations. Simpson could have just suspended her and just kept her there and not put her in remedial. Fair enough, but I mean, Simpson was working under the school board's thumb. And again, Simpson is terrible for sucking up to these people, especially Mayor Hollingsworth, about the Hunter situation. It has to be that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.